Todd, welcome back to Detroit. What have these last few days been like for you, and how do you get up to speed on a team mid-season?
Well, it's been hectic, to say the least. I was in Kelowna with my wife 48 hours ago and had to fly back to LA to here last night, arriving at, 8:30. Not a lot of sleep, trying to figure out names and faces. I probably know more people in this room than I do in that room. I'm not sure that's a good thing for me, but it's nice to see some familiar faces. And you know what? We're in a situation. This is never a good thing when a coach is released and a new one's brought in. The timing is a little bit awkward too because of Christmas and that type of stuff. We don't get a practice. We are going to play hockey tonight. We aren't. Trent Yanni and Todd McLellan aren't coming in here and waving a wand and changing forechecks and neutral zones and D-zone coverage and power play. We just don't have time. But what we've asked the players to do is to play harder, to play faster and a little bit smarter. And those are three simple things that I think we can control without any type of tactics or systematic structured play. And then the last thing is the spirit of the team has to improve. And when something like this happens, obviously the spirit of the team is at a low. And we're going to work hard to build that back up. We are going to focus a lot more on what's happening from minute 1 to minute 60. I know that all of you have a job to do, and there's a history of being in the playoffs, not being in the playoffs, winning streaks, losing streaks. And the players have to answer those questions after. And that's their duty and they have to do it, but I'm asking them to worry about what happens when they put the equipment on and focus on that and not carry any baggage or luggage with them to the rink about where we are in the standings or anything like that. Let's play and figure each other out. I have a home in Kelowna that I went to spend Christmas with my family, and the last thing I took there or didn't take there was any types of suits or I went there to relax, so I had to pick up a bunch of clothes and then get back here. So it was just logistics and time off. I like coaching. I love the game of hockey. I like being around players and trying to help them. And I was bored as hell sitting at home. I can only watch so many hockey games, and this is great. The task or the project in front of us is immense, but it's doable. The stops that I've had, San Jose, Edmonton, LA, the last two are very similar to this, where teams were out of the playoffs and looking to rebuild and retool and introduce youth into the lineup, and it worked out fairly well. We left both those organizations in a better place, and I think this is a good fit for both Trent and I, so we're excited about being here.
Hey Todd, welcome back. How much have you seen the Red Wings this year? What are your expectations of the roster from what you've seen on the ice?
Yeah, I've been able to obviously watch. I watched a lot of hockey. It's never the same on TV. You guys all do a great job of selling the game, but the emotion and the body language and the frustration or the joy or whatever might come out in a game, you don't always see it on TV. And it's way different when you're on the bench or in the locker room. So I'm looking forward to that. As I said, I think the team can play harder. It just can. I saw them play down the stretch last year with, there's different players, but the majority of them can play harder, they can play faster and smarter until we were able to help them with some tactics or structure or whatever that might be. I think there's some players from a distance that look like they're playing well. They're confident, they feel good about themselves. There's others, their game has slipped, whether it's an older player or a younger player. And I've asked the ones that feel good about themselves to maintain what they're doing. We've asked the ones that maybe are looking at themselves in the mirror and they're honest players to self-evaluate and to do those three things at least tonight, and it's our job to try and help them. We talked all the time. I've talked to them when I was in San Jose, Edmonton, LA, regularly in the summer, and it's not always hockey. Like, we talk about families and what's going on in our world. So that part of the relationship's good. But when did we begin talking about this? Probably 10 days ago. I think Steve began to think about where the team was at and what might happen. He believed that things would go the right way, and unfortunately they didn't. And I got a quick call and it was a fairly easy decision from my behalf, and it was just logistics. Timing was a little awkward, but here we are. Well, everybody seems to have a right-hand man. I have a right-hand lady at home, and she keeps me in line. Jans does that for me at the rink. He's not afraid to challenge me. He's not afraid to tell me to wake up and take a look and see what's in front of you. You know, so he forces me to make hard decisions, but I do that for him. So there's a good balance. Language is really important when coaches come into a new situation. So some words that I may use may be foreign not only to the rest of the staff, Alex and everybody else, but also to the players. And based on my experience, there is never a player putting his hand up in the air and going, "Hey coach, what does that word mean?" So where do they go? They go find the nearest ally, and that will be Jans now for a little while. So it's good to have at least two or a pair that can answer some of those questions, sometimes formally or casually. And Jans is he's developed defenseman throughout his career. He's got an impeccable track record, in my opinion, of dealing with young defensemen all over the league, and focuses on the penalty kill a lot. And that's obviously an area we're going to try and improve on. We have very good players here. Some are underachieving. We have to get them back. The structure or the way we play will be based on the group as a whole. Obviously, some guys play 20 minutes, some guys play 10 minutes, but the group as a whole will be considered when we talk about the style and systems that we'll play.
Hey, Todd, I wonder, how do you go about sort of finding out what these guys tick and getting to know these guys here in the short term?
Yeah, I honestly, I can't answer that question. I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to evolve. This for me, and I asked the players for their cooperation, this for me is brand new. So yeah, I've been in the league since I think 05 was my first year here. I've never walked into this situation before. I've been the guy kicked out the door, unfortunately, but never come in at this time. And one thing that I know I can't do is overreact, overcoach, overteach, over meet with players, because it's just going to be too much. But after that, it's timing, it's opportunity with players, it's practice time. I don't know if they're going to feel comfortable with Trent and I, or I'll feel comfortable with them until who knows when. But in the meantime, we create relationships. They'll learn how I behave, I'll learn how they behave, see where it all goes.
Todd, just wanted to clarify, did you take a red eye overnight and land here this morning? Like,
No,
what was your morning?
I think we got in at 8 last night.
Okay.
We came here and, yeah, not a lot of sleep, but back to coaching.
And just last time you were here, different building, what are your thoughts, just getting, I mean,
Yeah,
I know you've been here as an opponent,
we've
but.
been here as an opponent. Steve brought Trent and I here last night just to get kind of familiar, and I can't even tell you how to get back to the locker room. There's doors and nooks and crannies everywhere. There's a good chance I could walk into the Leafs room tonight. I don't want to do that, and Chief won't be very happy, but I'll figure out where I belong. But the facility is phenomenal. Obviously, the market, the hockey town, I know what that means. I saw it in some really good times, and the goal is to get back there. But it's hockey town for a reason.
And Leslie, just when you come in, you know, this quickly, how much do you look at who guys have played with in the past on lines, defense pairings, and coming up with your own?
Yeah, we'll start with a very familiar lineup. I think everybody needs a chance to play faster, harder, smarter. And as the game goes on, I may start moving some pieces around based on how I feel. And you know, tomorrow we'll practice. Will the lines look different? Maybe. It's a very hard question to answer, because you're asking me to predict in the future what everything looks like, and I'm just trying to figure out the present right now, so I'll deal with that.
Dylan, just your reaction to the events of the past day with the change in coaching.
Yeah, it's you know, obviously where we're at, it's been a frustrating start to the season, and you know, obviously our last performance last week, 2 games against Montreal, and then you know, it's just we're missing something, and ultimately Steve made the decision, and something you don't want to happen. I really like Derek and Boogs as guys. They're really good people, and you never want to see that, especially the time that it happened. It was a little awkward, but felt like something needed to happen, and now we move forward, and we had a great first day with Todd, and so right when it happened, it was difficult to see, but we move forward and hopefully continue to look at the big picture and develop this further.
And can the team get a bump or just a spark from a coaching change like this? Or?
Yeah, I think so. If you look at, I don't know, I guess some teams in the past that have done it. I mean, Pittsburgh won 2 cups when they changed their coach mid-season. I think St. Louis did the same thing as well. They were last in the league when they changed, made a coaching change with Berube and came in, and they won a cup that year too. So I think you can definitely get a spark from it. Pretty much echo everything Dylan said about what's transpired here, and hopefully get a little bump and spark from it and push us forward.
How do you approach going into a game like this where you've had Todd as a coach for a few hours right now, and obviously you'll be played tonight? What changes in a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone has a clean slate, like he said in our meeting this morning. So clean slate. You try to have a good first impression on the coach, and he's not making it too complicated or anything for us. Try to keep it simple for us. Just go out and play, and bring the spirit, bring the heart, play faster, play with some life in our team, and bring all that, and hopefully it'll turn out well for us.
I don't think it's a sense of relief. You don't want to see someone lose their job, and it's ultimately on the players. We're out there playing, and the things that Todd wants to bring in are simple things, but bringing team spirit and life back to us, and that's something that we've been lacking, and something that as a player, when you go out there and you don't have it, for whatever reason, it's like we have the last week and multiple times throughout the season, it's not the way I want to play. It's not the way I feel the guys up here want to play, or guys in that locker room want to play, and we need to get that back, and whatever happens the rest of the way of the season, we need to build the team spirit and the competitiveness back in our locker room, and then so.
First of all, you never want to be in a position where you'll be part of a coaching change, but if it ultimately helps us in the long run, I think we did a good solution, or found a good solution, and now we have to build towards a big goal for the next couple of years, and I think it's exciting. I think everybody was a little nervous, maybe excited, had a couple of new emotions coming towards the rink, and hopefully we can build on that and get something out of it.
Big picture at all? I mean, do you think about it a lot?
Yeah, I do, and like Mo said, it's good to have those emotions, and I was nervous coming to the rink today, and nervous to play tonight, and I think it's a good nervous. So that's tonight, and moving forward, I think heard a little bit of Todd's when he was talking to you guys. He's been in this spot similar in Edmonton and in LA as well, where he took over and the team wasn't in the best position, and then like LA, they were a 40-win team, and hard to play against, and their big players produced, and they had good role players. So I think there is a belief in him because he's done it in this league, and I'm excited to play with someone that has coaching experience, and then it's on us ultimately, and Mo and Kane are here this year, so it's on the players to build this thing, and that's the big picture. Is hopefully Todd can steer us in the right direction, and then build up us and the other younger players in this room.